In 2025, most people they're trying to learn an abundance of different skills, putting their focus in all sorts of different directions, never really focusing on one thing, which leads most people to failing because with, the current state of the digital gold rush that we're going through right now, you have to go all in on one thing to make it work because if your eggs are all in different baskets and you're just kind of spread out thin with your focus, you're never going to make anything work. So if you take a look at my screen right here, we have two different individuals. We have Guts, the absolute Giga Chad, and then we have Stanley, the fat stamp who subscribes to a lot of OnlyFans girls. And Stanley right here, he's trying to learn how to day trade, build an e-com store, and starting an SMMA marketing agency all at the same exact time, just grinding in all different angles. While on the other hand, Guts is already making 10K a month, just mastering one skill and scaling to the moon. And this is because with Stanley, the reason he fails to ever hit 10K a month is because number one, he has no idea what he wants. He's just falling into the dopamine traps of like trying to start day trading, SMMA, and he just loves the idea of like getting rich and making all this money online. But he doesn't even know what he wants. He just keeps trying to chase that next dopamine hit of starting something new, which leads him to fail and to switch from business model to business model, never really making anything work. And thus, that leads Stanley to believe that making money online is a complete scam, when in reality, Stanley is a scam himself. Then Stanley goes on to work a 9 to 5 the rest of his life, spends all of his very hard earned money on OnlyFans girls and just goons all day. And then in his 50s, he ends up marrying an AI girl who pleases him and keeps him company during the 9 to 5 grind. And then finally, he never survives long enough to be able to hit his first 10K month. But on the other hand, we look at Guts right here, the absolute Giga Chad. He knows exactly what he wants, why he wants it, why he wants this dream reality, and he knows exactly what steps and skills he needs to learn to get to that dream point. So when he learns a skill in the right vehicle, he uses the right business model that aligns with the dream reality that he wants, which provides him the ability to never work a 9 to 5 while being able to unlock time, location, and eventually financial freedom. He then moves to Thailand to maximize his income, earning USD online and then spending in baht, then finds and meets a beautiful Thai feminine girl, and then trains Muay Thai, gets in his first few fights, knocks everyone out, and he's just leveling up every area of his life every single day, and he's scaling to the stars and beyond. So it's very simple which choice and which person you'd rather be. You'd obviously rather be Guts. And what Guts understands in terms of being able to learn the right skills and to find the right vehicle to hit 10,000 a month as fast as possible is to find the right business model and to learn the right skill. Because as you look at this very fancy chart right here, this vehicle, the Ferrari, that's a very high level business model that will be able to provide you unlimited income, location, time freedom, just the most ideal business model that you want to get into to create the desired outcome. And then right here on the right, this guy with the little wrench, he has a very high level skill level. And then the empty hands, no skills. And then Mater right here is like the worst business model. You have to work 90 hours a week with no freedom at all, no location freedom, no time freedom, and you're barely even making any money. And as we do these equations right here, if you have no skills in the right business model, you're going to be absolutely broke, scrounging around for pennies. And if you have very high level skills and the wrong business model, you're also going to be broke. And if you have no skills and no business model, like in the 9 to 5, then you're going to be broke as well. But if you have the ideal business model and very high level skills, you're going to be an absolute Chad. You're going to be Guts. So let's take a look at what Guts found out to be the best business model to be able to get him to 10K a month with just one skill. And that's with the skill of sales. The skill of sales, you already have this right now, whether you like it or not, whenever you've made your friends, a girlfriend, or you've convinced someone to do something, you've already used the skill. It's the number one skill in the world. We wouldn't be kind of moving in an economy if sales weren't being used every single day. And once you learn the skill of sales and master it, you're literally never going to be broke again. There's always something to sell. And with leveling up your skill with sales, you just get better with women. You get to convince them to date you, convince them to go back to your room and do some cardio. And it's very easy and simple to learn just because you've been using this your entire life. It's just about translating it online into high ticket sales, which is the vehicle we're going over today, which will be able to provide you location freedom, time freedom. You have uncapped income. It just depends on what offer you're on and how much you're working. And then you're also able to eventually acquire financial freedom as well. It just depends on where you live. Like if you're making 10K a month living in Dubai, you're not going to really be able to attain any type of financial freedom. But if you're making 10K a month and move out here to where I am in Thailand, you get 3 times bang for your buck. So even if you're making 10K a month back home in the States with high ticket sales and you move out here to Thailand, you're basically already making 20 to 30K a month, which is an absolute cheat code. And all you really need with high ticket sales to get started is just a phone, a laptop, Wi-Fi, and you can literally do this anywhere in the world. It just depends on what offer you're on and how much you want to work. That determines like what times you're gonna be working throughout the day. Like when I first started out, I was working from 8 p.m. until like 6 or 7 a.m. in the morning. But luckily enough for me, I was able to transition from that into an offer where I can just work from like 8 to 2 p.m., which is a lot better than just working all night right alongside Batman. So with high ticket sales and learning the skill of sales, I'll kind of go through the full A to Z process real quick, just because right now you're probably confused of like, how do I even get started? How do I learn the skill of sales? It's all pretty confusing, but for me, it's saved my life. It's changed my life completely from working at a racetrack, working from like 5 a.m. until 1 p.m. and then going from there to the gym and then working at Red Lobster, which is like this restaurant from like 3 p.m. until 9 or 10 p.m. at night, and just doing that same cycle over and over for just a few $1,000s a month. And then just being able to move completely out here to Bangkok, Thailand with $1,500 to my name. No income whatsoever quite yet from high ticket sales, and just going from $0 to $10,000 a month in just about 2 to 3 months. It's just an absolute 9-day difference than just working a 9 to 5, building out someone else's dreams instead of your own. So with this full A to Z process, the first thing you need to understand and learn is the skill of sales. And like we talked about, you've already had the skills, just about leveling it up, knowing exactly what the process is like as a setter or a closer, which we'll be going over a little bit later. And the best way to learn, number one, is going through trial and error, learning from your own mistakes, just doing the reps and just getting better over time. It's just like boxing, riding a bike, just anything in life that takes learning. You're going to be absolute shit at first. It's totally okay. Everyone is. But the thing is with any type of skill is that you can get better at it. And to get better at it, obviously it's just a numbers game. You can just keep doing it and doing it, learn what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and just improve your mistakes and just do better next time. Next up, you can learn from a coach or mentor, someone who's a few levels above you, learn from their past trials and errors so that we can kind of fast track your progress to learn the skills a lot quicker. And then number three, you can read a lot of sales books, watch sales videos on YouTube, people's call recordings. That's obviously not the best, to be completely honest, just because you're not getting your own experience, but you're learning from others, which is no problem whatsoever. Then next up, socializing and networking. This is actually a very good one. Just going out there in the world, making new friends, talking to girls, maybe telling your friends to go to the club with you, whatever it may be. Just like communicating itself is the skill of sales. So just being able to go out into the world and just practice in person is a lot better than just reading some books and watching some videos. And then next up, cold approaching. The girl that you're seeing at the gym right now, maybe she's hot. Maybe you've been eyeing her the last few weeks. You're like, oh, should I go talk to her? Cold approaching, that's a very good way to practice your sales skills. It's probably the hardest. Going up to a girl that you think it might be out of your league and just convincing her to go to grab a coffee with you. That's going to take a lot of sales skills, maybe a little bit later on down the line. Once you've been training and mastering the arts a little bit more, that might be a better time to go cold approach that girl. But if she's like in your league, just go cold approach and just practice. There will be no harm, no foul. And then last but not least, you probably have a fat friend right now, eating too many donuts, eating McDonald's every day, never really goes to the gym. This is a very good task for you. Go practice your sales skills on your fat friend to go to the gym with you, so that way you can practice your sales skills and change someone's life in the exact same time. Then step number 2, after you level up your sales skills a little bit, it's all about finding this goldmine offer that are in high ticket sales, just because with high ticket sales, it really determines on what offer you're on. That determines on how much money you're able to make, because you can have the best salesman on the worst offer in the world. and he's going to be absolutely broke, scrounging around for pennies, trying to sell stuff to survive. It's just not going to be a good time. And I can tell you this firsthand because the first two offers that I was on, they were complete garbage, complete shit, to be completely honest. I had very high hopes because I was very new into the high ticket sales space. So I thought like every offer was good. But in very short time, I was able to find out the absolute truth was that was not the case. Because when I first came out to Thailand, I was already on an appointment setting offer. And I thought it was going to be an absolute banger. I thought it was going to provide me a consistent source of income to be able to sustain my life out here in Thailand. But reality woke me up and I went completely broke, having to fast for 110 hours and finally being able to find my first gold mine offer, which was able to scale me to 10,000 a month in only 2 to 3 months. Because I mean, with these offers, the really good ones, if you have the worst sales skills in the world and you're on the best offer in the world, you're gonna be absolutely printing compared to the best salesman in the world on the worst offer. And that's the point I'm trying to get across is the offer is like a night and day difference in terms of whether you're gonna be absolutely broke or you're gonna be successful very, very quick. Now, a lot of people, when they're looking for these gold mine offers, I see a lot of people looking in the wrong place online. They're networking with a lot of people that are in the same exact position as them. They're spamming DMs of offer owners, applying to jobs on LinkedIn, joining sketchy Facebook groups, getting scammed by these Facebook groups, which ultimately leads them to giving up. So let's cross it out. That's not the right way to do it. We'll kind of go over exactly how 50 plus of my students have been able to find their first gold mine offers, like Igor right here, who's made a little bit over 5K on both of his offers right now. Richard, who's been able to find an offer thanks to my connections in the Discord, as well as Daniel being able to find a fitness offer with on-track earnings of 10K a month. Alex being able to find an offer that's going to be able to earn him anywhere from 5 to 30K a month, just depending on how much you want to work. Doesn't really matter that much, just depends on you. And then Ram, who's been able to land a setting offer with earnings 4 to 10K plus with a base pay included of 1,500 a month. And then Jan, as you guys can see on my YouTube channel, he's one of my biggest wins inside of Living Unchained, going from 0 to 20K a month in only 60 days, just making 21.7K in December. So the reason my students have been able to do this is with what I'd like to call the shadow funnel strategy, which you guys can watch. It's more of an in-depth guide below where you're just learning exactly how to find these high ticket offers, how to outreach to them, and then attacking them from all different angles. The full training will be listed below. But yeah, after finding this gold mine offer, there's really two main positions in high ticket sales, which is setting and closing. With setting, it's just a 10 to 15 minute conversation that you're having with these prospects that you're going to be calling. They're already pretty warm, pretty hot compared to like cold calling where they don't even know who you are. They don't know what you're selling. With B2C high ticket sales for like gold mine offers, they already know who you are and who you're selling for, which makes them a lot harder, pretty much already ready to buy. Whereas setting, you're just kind of figuring out what problems they have, can they afford the solution, and then you're just passing up the call to the closer, which then the closer is having 15 to 60 plus minute conversations with them on a Zoom call. Whereas like face to face, they're just going a lot more deeper in terms of their situation. Why haven't they changed? Why they need the solution and everything like that. And then just closing a deal. And then with setting, you can make anywhere from 1 to 20K a month. 20K a month is like the highest I've ever seen a setter make, but obviously it could make a little bit more. That's just like my personal experience of like the highest paid setter I've ever seen. And with setting, you're making anywhere from 5 to 9% commission of every set deal that closes. So every time you set someone up for a closing call and that deal gets closed, you get anywhere from 5 to 9% of the commission that's closed. And with setting, I believe it to be the lowest skill that's needed, like in all of the online space to start making money online. And you do get a lot more time freedom than closing just because you do get to work literally whenever you want. Because as a closer, like for myself, I have to set my calendar for when I want to take calls. And whenever those calls are booked, I have to show up to those times. But when I was a setter, I could work anywhere, anytime I want, as long as the leads were awake. So even when I was working like the nighttime hours right alongside Batman, I could work from like 8 p.m. to 2 a.m., 4 a.m. to 8. 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. It just really depends on like when you want to work, but you get a little bit more time freedom than with closing. But with closing, you do need a lot higher skill level with sales than setting, because setting, like we talked about, you only need 10 to 15 minutes worth of conversation, just asking the basic questions. But as a closer, you need to dive a lot deeper into the prospect in terms of like you're more of like a doctor with closing than with as a setter, you're just like the receptionist at the doctor's office. And then with setting, it is a little bit more annoying than closing, to be honest, because you're going to be dealing with a lot of DQs, a lot of annoying low frequency people. Then with closing, you're dealing with a lot more higher qualified people, because most of the time with these high ticket offers, the only people you're talking to on these closing calls are people who already have the money. You might just have to deal with some objections, but that's pretty much it. You do also do have to show your face as a closer. So you always do have to have like you have to be handsome, well groomed, good lighting, good audio. As with setting, you never really need to show your face. Sometimes you don't even have to talk if you're going into DM setting. But yeah, that's pretty much a quick overview of the two main rules with high ticket sales. And with the 10K a month formula to leverage this one skill with setting and closing, this is like for the bare minimum offer, like the worst offer in the world in the high ticket sales space. This is like the bare minimum. So to make a high ticket offer, the package must be at least $3,000 or more. Some people might say it's like 1K, 2K, but I think 3K. That's like the minimum standards to be qualified as a high ticket offer. So to reach 10K a month as a setter, you literally only need 48 set closes in 30 days to hit 10K a month in commission, which is not that hard, especially on a good offer. You should be aiming to hit at least 15 to 20K. And then as a closer, you only need 33 closes in 30 days to hit 10K a month commission. So with closing, it does take a little bit less work, but a lot longer time and a lot higher skill is required. And this is based off 7% commission as a setter and then 10% commission as a closer. So to get a lot more in depth of like how to find these goldmine offers, because that's honestly the hardest part about high ticket sales. Most people, they just settle for shit offers that don't even provide them any income whatsoever, which leads them to going broke or just giving up and moving on to day trading or OF and whatever it may be. So if you guys are interested in learning a little bit more and want to go more in depth on the exact A to Z blueprint on how to find these goldmine offers, the video will be linked down below, or you can be Stanley right here and just doom scroll the rest of your day and just keep watching other YouTube videos and just jerk off and go to sleep. But yeah, other than that, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's been fun talking to you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one.